So, I've been checking you out from afar, right? And, I like you and I hope you like me too. So, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I haven't really done this before, but I just hope you can take things to the next level, relationship-wise, if you want. So, wait, you got a little something in your grill there. Let me just keep that for you.
What are you doing?
What? No, nothing. Are you ready? No, we can do the shoot now if you feel ready.
No, what was that?
Nothing. Dude, what are you talking about? Camera guy, let's go. Let's shoot this thing. Why are you looking at me like that? Let's just action. Let's go. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Z-CarCulture, or should I say a very special episode of Z-CarCulture. Now, as you can or cannot already tell, I have a bit of a soft spot for the Mercedes CLS.
That's a bit of an understatement.
What? Come on.
This thing...
It's not a thing, it's a she.
How dare you assume this car's gender? You should be ashamed of yourself. It's non-binary, can't you tell?
Oh, wow.
Well, clearly for this episode, we need someone with a bit of an unbiased opinion about the CLS, because considering what I found you doing earlier on...
you didn't see anything.
I don't know what that was, but I am needed for this episode to help the consumers or the audience to make up their mind on whether they should buy this or not.
Okay, fine. So to give a bit of an overview about this car, here's a little bit of a voiceover of me introducing you to the CLS. The Mercedes CLS model was launched in 2004 and it was the first of its kind, bringing into the market then a novel concept of a four-door coupe, which, as the name suggests, is a coupe with 4 doors instead of 2, a fastback if you will. One may call the CLS a trendsetter, as a few years later Volkswagen launched the CC, Audi with the A7, and Porsche's take on the concept brought about the Panamera. Mercedes intended the CLS to slot between the E-Class and the S-Class, providing a luxurious yet sporty drive and feel. Speaking of the E-Class, all 3 generations of the CLS share mechanical components with the E-Class of that generation. In the case of this, the first generation CLS, it shares the engine and transmission and all other oily bits with the W211 generation. The CLS came with an assortment of engine options, from a 280 horsepower 3-litre V6 to the top of the range 507 horsepower V8 in the AMG, without of course forgetting 3 other diesel engine options. The model we have today is a 3.5-litre variant with 286 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque, sending power to the rear wheels exclusively via a 7-speed automatic transmission. This is a car you're either gonna love or hate when it comes to the looks. Right, now we want to take a tour of the inside of the CLS, but first things first though, we gotta talk about these frameless doors.
Yeah, because before we got in the car, I just like the way they make you feel. You feel like you're getting into something that's sporty.
It's so special, this car, like, wow. Compare this to what it's based on, the normal...
The old
E-Class.
man's E-Class, yeah.
Yeah, this is special. So you got these frameless doors and it's so sleek. You jump in, you feel like you're jumping into a sports car. And then when you sit here, you've got an interior that has been aging fairly well, apart from, the excessive number of buttons here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got buttons on the steering wheel, you've got all these stalks here, you've got buttons on the dash and the center console.
Yeah, but it's quite simple. I mean, you don't need to actually be quite fearful of what all these buttons do. It's quite straightforward. If you've been in any Mercedes of this era, this is what you usually find anyways. But I think the key features for me is the wood. Especially here, there's like a lot of it. I like this wood everywhere. It's quite nice. But
Is this real? Is this real wood?
I'm not sure if this is real though, but I would like to think it is.
Because they put so much, like this is a thick slab, like quite a big piece of wood.
Chunk of wood.
For it to be fake would be very depressing.
Yeah. But as the driver in front of me, I've got analog dials. They're quite intuitive. I've got my speedometer there and other gauges to the side.
I like this chrome surround. It's a bit chintzy now.
It's a bit chintzy,
but I'm sure back in the day people were like, Oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
And I just like how it's clear. It's like simple in terms of the colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's just black and white. Not too many gimmicks.
Yeah, there's some interiors where you can get like lighter colors, like almost like that beige or like white or anything like that, or maybe caramel sometimes. But I think this black works, especially with this wood. It makes it less dark than it would have been anyways.
Yeah, and it's understated, which I guess helps a car that's aging. You don't want the caramel or the white, because I'm sure it's not looking so good.
Yeah, especially if it hasn't been cleaned.
Exactly.
But classic Mercedes of the era here, you've got your dial. If you've got your phone, you can dial your mobile number here. This infotainment is synonymous with all Mercedes of the era. It's quite small and, you know, not that great anymore. But there are companies these days that can fit an aftermarket unit there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got something interesting going on down here. Kudzi, can you tell us what's going on down here?
Okay, so you've got your heated seats on both sides of the control panel. And in the middle of this control panel, if you press this button, right, at the bottom, you can see that, okay, in B-roll, it slowly reveals the 6 CD disc changer.
That was a huge brag back in the day. 6!
6! Yeah, and the nice thing about it is each individual disc button lights red, just to let you know that there's something inside. And it's just, I don't know, well hidden. Because if you don't want to see it,
it goes away.
Yeah, you can always hide it.
I just like the theater of it all. Like, they didn't really have to do all that with the whole mechanism. But I think it just adds now to the specialness of this car. It truly is a special car. You've got a normal shifter here. I've always liked how they put the emblem right on top there. Makes it look very premium. Some more wood-ish materials down here, as well as a little bit of storage here if you want. And you've got a really nice, comfortable armrest that opens both ways.
But don't try that. Don't even touch it. Because we tried to open this earlier, but let's just say time has
it's not been kind. But
yeah.
I feel like it's something that's also fixable. If you go to the right people, I'm sure they can fix that for you, as well as these nice cup holders. Not that deep though. But,
very shallow.
They
They almost look like they were meant for champagne flutes. You know, like in the more modern Mercedes, you've got those clamps that hold your champagne glass, but maybe not the best idea.
But it is quite comfortable. I like the way that I'm sitting. I also feel like I'm sitting in like a sports car. I feel like I'm sitting quite low, which is good. But I'm interested to see how you feel in the back. So let's take a look at what's going on in the back seats.
Sure.
So the back seat of the CLS, and unfortunately for me, I can't really fit.
Yes, I mean, if you are not driving this car, I don't think you enjoy it that much.
I'm not supposed to be a passenger. Well, I'm actually very, very tall, so when it comes to legroom is fine, considering, you know, if the driver is very short. Headroom also is a bit of an issue for me. I'm just about scraping the roof, so yeah, I'm a bit disappointed there, but you know, I'm not the average height, so
yeah, you're not. And I guess I kind of knew by just looking from the outside. You can tell the sloping roof means that you have to make this sort of a compromise.
Yeah.
You really have to think about who you're going to carry in the back.
You have to really make sure that the person is like decent height.
Well, for me, I'm average height, and I think this seat is it's a good way back. It's pushed. It's adequate. I mean, for someone of your height, so I should be fine. Even for a long trip.
Okay, cool.
It's not that.
In terms of storage though, you've got some map pockets in the back here, and if you open this slot here, you've got space for a cup holder. This one seems like it's a bit deeper, and it's got like little teeth, so you can actually like clamp onto whatever it is you have in there, and it'll be fine. What else do we have here?
We have a bigger storage piece.
This one is a bit stuck on.
Yeah, we're facing some difficulty opening it, but yeah, you've got another storage area. We're not quite sure what's underneath there, but
yeah. Oh, so this is a strict 4-seater. So all CLSs are 4-seaters. You can't get it as a 5-seater. So yeah, keep in mind when you have a family of 3 kids, one of them has to either straddle this or take the bus.
Well, I think it's for the best, because even if you could fit, like if this wasn't here, I don't think there's enough space to have 3 people
this is
across.
Zimbabwe, shall we can make it work. Okay. So you got the armrest here, comfortable as well, but then you also have some storage underneath it to put, I don't know what you can put in there though.
Maybe your phone. My phone fits. You can put your phone, wallet, whatever you have to carry. I guess that's about as much as you can put in there. Then you have like a secondary set of cup holders.
Yeah, these ones are also quite shallow too. So I guess if you got maybe smaller cups, then they'll be fine in there.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what drinks they were having in 2005, but
that was so small, like
very small drinks.
But I think it's okay. I mean, yeah, sure, it's quite adequate. Back here we've got some speakers, so that makes I think about 6 speakers, because you got some in the doors and those ones in the back.
And then you also have that rear shade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think just to prevent the sunlight from punishing you, in Zim, you just pull that up.
Oh, and that glass is also heated, by the way. So in winter time, you'll be okay. So yeah, that's the back seat of the CLS. You know, I take fits and other shikas wherever I go. So I'm used to cramping myself into small type spaces. So because I love this car so much, I would make the compromise.
Okay, I guess to kind of give it a balanced review, yeah, it's tight. It's not that spacious. But you do have, like, you can tell the leather quality, the way that things are fitting together. It's a premium quality product,
yes.
Or it was back in the day. So if you can find a nice one, like one that hasn't been too molested.
Yeah, like this one is fine. It just needs a few cosmetic tweaks here and there, but the leather is aging really nicely, and everything else seems to be held together quite well. So yeah, because I've seen some CLSs going for like 400,000 on the dash, 400,000 kilometers on the dash. So you can easily get one there. You just need to take care of it.
Yeah, just take good care of it.
All right, cool. Yeah. So okay, now I want to see how this thing drives.
Okay, I think
now it's the time.
Let's go for the drive.
Yeah.
All right, so you join us in the driving impressions of the Mercedes CLS 350.
I can't stop smiling.
I know, I can see. But yeah, it's an interesting experience because you sit so low down in the car. It feels sporty, and the suspension in this example we have is a bit stiff, on the stiff side. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to feel like.
Maybe because those wheels are quite large too, so there's a little sidewall between us and the road, but it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's just something that's worth noting. But other than that, the steering is typical. It's very light, very assisted. The accelerator pedal is like one of those floor-mounted hinges. So sometimes you find yourself just
yeah, it's quite eager to go. It's quite eager to go, which makes me think, what if you've got a larger engine? Because there's some V8s up the chain right now. We've got the V6.
We've got the V6. But yeah, it feels exactly what I was expecting it to feel like. It's trying to imitate. It's doing an impression of a sports car. Yep. It's an E-Class doing an impression of a sports car.
But we're not complaining.
We're not complaining. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. The transmission is not that smooth, if I'm honest, but I'm just guessing it's the model we have, the example we have.
I think this one just needs some servicing. Otherwise I think it's normally smoother than this, because we've been in other Mercedes products from this era. So this is like mid 2000s to like early 2010s. And yeah, they're usually quite solid. And even just the way the car feels in general, it feels solid, because if you compare it to Japanese cars of this era, they feel a bit more flimsier, if that's the word. These ones feel like solid. Like,
Yeah, especially since we said where like you sit low down in it, you feel like you're sitting in it, right?
Yeah.
Like almost like in a tub.
exactly.
And then it feels sturdy and stable. So it's very confidence inspiring if you're late for a business meeting, you're late to a family thing,
You'll be
you'll
fine.
be fine.
So the economy of this car, when new, was 10 liters on average, 10 liters to the 100. Of course, now since the car is a bit older, it might be doing a little bit worse than that.
But considering this is a 3.5 liter V6 NA,
Yes, naturally aspirated, no turbos.
no turbos, no what, it's not that bad. Because I was expecting like way worse. But I guess if you're doing city driving, you might be expecting somewhere around the 12, 13 liter mark. But still, it's you know what you're getting into when you're buying this.
That's true. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up this car. Like, it's special, and my fear was because it's based on an E-Class, it would feel like an E-Class, right? But they did try to just give this car a little bit more of that special sauce, not just on looks alone, but even like with the mechanics. Though they do share a lot of components, they tried to maybe just add a little bit more extra oomph to this car so that it feels sportier yet luxurious at the same time, which seem like polar opposites, but it seems to work in this car.
Yeah, it definitely does work.
So we need to give our final thoughts, right?
Yeah, I guess we have. We've sampled enough.
Cool. So, final thoughts of the Mercedes CLS. Well, for me, look, I went into this having a huge crush on this car, and I'm leaving this car and I still have that crush, you know, like I haven't really been disappointed because I sort of knew what I was getting myself into with this car. I've seen tons of reviews of what this car is like, and I've experienced every bit of it, and I love it. I really love it. The only caveat that's always there is, of course, when you're in the market for one of these, you gotta make sure that you find the best example you can, because obviously with old Mercs, they come with a lot of gremlins, a lot of issues, but if you can find a nice clean one without those issues, you can enjoy yourself a really nice, exclusive, premium looking car, and yeah, you won't be disappointed with that. How about you?
Well, personally, I try to come into this review with a more objective view of this car. And what I will say is that if you're someone who, in your life, you might benefit from the added practicality of having a 3-row bench in the back, having like a bigger boot, just having a more practical outlook, I don't think this car is for you. But if you're someone like me who can make the appropriate sacrifice to have something that's a bit more unique and you can see how this car looks.
Yeah.
If you're someone like that, then this car would do just fine. Like Tino said, make sure that you get the best one you can, the best example that's around. Because I think if you can get the best one and you just stay on top of the maintenance, I don't see like anything going majorly wrong with this car.
You'll be fine, because it doesn't really matter about the mileage too, because you can have like a really high mileage one, but if it's fastidiously maintained, you'll be good.
Exactly.
But no diesels. No
yeah,
diesels.
avoid the diesels.
So anyways, guys, that is it from us. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another Z-CarCulture review. Be sure to like, follow, and we're there on all the socials. That is Facebook, Instagram. If you have a cool car you want us to review, give us a DM, and definitely we'll come and do that. But as for now, I think we're going to leave you right here. Z-CarCulture. We out.